Welcome to the Road to Brazil, presented by Castrol. I'm your host, Alan Hopkins. Well, the U.S. men's national team accomplished their goal of qualifying for the 2014 FIFA World Cup finals in Brazil. The U.S. had their record winning streak snapped in Costa Rica, but responded in the best way possible by beating Mexico in Columbus by the all too familiar scoreline of 2-0, thanks in large part to goals by Eddie Johnson and Landon Donovan.
After the match, the players and staff gathered in the locker room to watch the remaining minutes of Honduras and Panama. And when that match went final, the U.S. men's national team had the result they needed to qualify for their 7th consecutive World Cup finals. The players and staff then went back out to the field to celebrate with the fans that stuck around to celebrate the qualification process being over. Now let's take a look at the standings heading into the final 2 matches of the Hex. The U.S. with their 2-0 victory over Mexico leapfrogged Costa Rica back into first place atop the table. Costa Rica, Honduras, and Panama are next, with Mexico and Jamaica closing out the table with just the 2 games remaining. The Matchday 9 schedule sees the U.S. closing out its home schedule against Jamaica in Kansas City. Meanwhile, Honduras hosts Costa Rica, and the match everyone will be paying attention to, the pivotal qualifier as Mexico hosts Panama.
And although the men's national team has completed the job of qualifying for Brazil, head coach Jurgen Klinsmann and key players say that this is not the end of qualifying, but rather the start of preparations for Brazil next summer.
So everything we do now already prepares us for the World Cup. You know, whatever we do in camp, these few days we have just together, set already the tone towards summer of 2014, and therefore it's important that the players understand that it's serious business that we deal with. Yes, do we want to have a smile and a joke and a good time, but at the same time we want to see an improvement of the entire squad, the entire team, and we want to see competition in every single position. I think that the word that you just need to mention is Brazil, and I think then you automatically get fired up.
You can never take a game lightly, especially when you're pulling on a U.S. shirt. You have to understand what it means to represent your country, and you don't really pick and choose. And so yeah, we've actually got the qualification out of the way, but we get so little time in a World Cup year to actually prepare, that it is good that we've gotten the qualification out of the way, and we can now use this game, the next game, and obviously the 2 friendlies in November to really cap off what's been a great year.
I think you got to go in with the mentality that we're building towards Brazil now, and it's great, and we celebrated in Columbus that we qualified for Brazil, but now we have to get to work even harder, because once we get there, the whole level is going to be higher, and it's going to be difficult. I'm trying to make the squad. I'm trying to make it to Brazil, and I'm trying to show my teammates and the coaching staff that I belong, and that I belong on the field as well.
Even though it's 8 months away or something like that, there's not much time to show the manager what you can do, what you can bring to the team, and why you should be selected for the final roster. So you have to take every opportunity you can, and this week and this game against Jamaica here at home is no different.
Jamaica is a desperate team right now because they still have that chance of qualifying. So they're going to come at us. We got to be ready for it. But I think if we play well, we should handle it.
I think mathematically they are still involved in the qualification, and they're not out in that regard. And they're down near the bottom. There'll obviously be some shake-up in their group in terms of who they bring in and what they're trying to do. But that's a dangerous thing, because we can't really count on what they do. It's something that we have to ourselves be prepared to stamp our authority on the game. Put them in situations they're not going to like, and they're going to be uncomfortable in. We'll certainly do our homework, and we've scouted them, and we'll try and find out as many players as we know, and formations and the rest of it. But in a game like this, it's important that we worry about ourselves, and then I think that will kind of get the rhythm of the game where we want it to be.
The biggest thing for me is the comfort level. I play here every other weekend, so I really love coming out of the tunnel and seeing familiar faces and hearing that home crowd cheer on.
We kind of love coming to Kansas City now. It's one of the soccer hotbeds, and every time we play here, the crowd has been better than fantastic. They've welcomed us. They've made us really feel like it's a home game, made it difficult on the other team coming in. So when the venue was selected, we were excited because this is always a place that, from a soccer standpoint, atmosphere, it's fantastic.
We want to finish off the year on a high note, but also we want to especially make the first match against Jamaica in Kansas City a special game, because it's our last home game in 2013. It's been an exciting year, 2013, with tremendous support, from all the fans throughout the entire country. Wherever we played, sold out stadiums and awesome fan support. So we wanna recognize that, and we wanna give the fans a real good game and obviously 3 points.
The Castrol Index is the official performance index of the U.S. Soccer Federation and uses the latest technology to analyze player performance and help you see soccer from a completely different perspective. Check out the Castrol Index after U.S. soccer matches. A reminder, you can watch the U.S. take on Jamaica in its final home game of 2013 at a sold-out Sporting Park on ESPN, Watch ESPN, Unimas, ESPN Deportes Radio, with the coverage beginning at 5:30 p.m. Central Time.
And that'll do it for this episode of The Road to Brazil, presented by Castrol. I've been your host, Alan Hopkins, and we'll see you next time from Panama.